It's a great job. I got a chance to go to Mexico. We were on a ship that went to Mexico, and it was so exciting. First of all, we arrived nice and early, so it kind of felt like we were sneaking in. I thought it was fantastic. In fact, I was actually surprised because to me, Mexico was a lot like the United States, only I didn't hear as much Spanish. I actually puedo hablar muy poquito español. My parents made me take Spanish when I was in high school because my dad had a job offer and there was a chance if he took it we were going to stay in the U.S. We are uptight when it comes to people learning English, aren't we? We don't even want you to don't even pick up your bags at the airport. Learn the language. I understand that, but my advice would be to travel somewhere where nobody speaks English and you'll see it's pretty scary. Yeah. I was in a Walmart in Ohio. I love this job, and I have this job because I was so bad at my other jobs. I didn't do very well in school. I had that learning disorder where you simply don't care. Very debilitating. Attacks your ability to make money as an adult. Yeah, in fact, I barely got out of high school, then I dropped out of a community college. Yeah, impressive. It's like quitting T-balls. You think they're throwing it too hard. It wasn't a great school. First of all, the mascot was an albatross. Apparently you guys don't know what it is either. It really wasn't a prestigious school. In fact, our 20-year reunion was held at a mall. Well, it made sense because that's where most of the alumni worked. I'll tell you the really sad part is I'm still working on the $600 student loan. I wish I had taken my school more seriously, but I didn't. You know, who knows? If I had done well, I could have had good companies fighting each other just to hire me when I came out. But nope. No, I was headhunted by Blockbuster Video and the Olive Garden. I actually worked at Sears. That's where I worked. Ended up at Sears working in the hardware department, and it was safe to say that the biggest tool was me. I was awful at the job. I was so depressed I even tried to hang myself in the rope aisle. Like, hey buddy, how much are these wing nuts? Well, sometimes you go into a store and you'll see a young person working and you'll think, wow, this kid's going to be something. Well, that wasn't me. I was the kind of person you saw and went, wow, how bad were the other applicants? And how bad were their interviews if this guy got the job? Give you an example of how bad I was at product knowledge. I thought Pete Moss was an employee. Now, in my defense, Pete Moss was in lawn and garden, and I was in hardware. But it doesn't change the fact that I never put two and two together. This woman cornered me one Saturday morning. Where can I find Pete Moss? Ooh, I think he's off. Is Pete here? Yeah, I wasn't exactly a company guy either. In fact, the best part of my job was when customers got mad, told me they'd never shop there again. They always said it like it was going to bother me on a personal level. I will never shop in this store again. I was 18, making $4.50 an hour, and wearing a bright red vest. So the only reaction they were getting from me was, yeah, right, and nobody likes the idiot voice. You ever do that to somebody? Just watch the hate unfold on their face. Yeah, right, we're going to do that. What was that for? People hate that because there's no comeback. You can spend 50 years at Harvard. That doesn't mean anything. Somebody looks at you and goes, just go home. You lost. That's the end of the argument. So if I ever get the death penalty, that's how I'm going to go out. And what's the worst they can do? Tap you twice? May God have mercy on your soul. Yeah, right. The other job I had right before comedy, I was a car salesman. Yeah, real fun. Nobody liked me. It was brutal. And but I tell you what, it's great practice for being married. I've been called every name you could possibly think of, so now when my wife yells at me, I just say, look, do we have a deal or not? Tell me what it's going to take for me to get you into that bedroom. I was going to get fired, so I knew it, so I quit. I even gave my boss the take this job speech. Felt good, but 6 months later I was right back in his office because my comedy hadn't taken off. It's like, hey, any chance you didn't shove that job yet? I watched an interview with Robert De Niro. He said he was fired from his first job. Can you picture him doing anything other than being an actor? Imagine seeing that face in a regular job like lost luggage. I lost my suitcase. Stallone's another example. Actors you just can't see doing anything else. I've always been a Stallone fan. Imagine if he just went into seminary, became a priest, heard that voice in the confession booth. How creepy would that be? Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned. Hey, yo, I don't know if we can do it. We got, like, you got hell, baby. Hey, yo, I'll go in peace. Arnold's a great example. Imagine if Arnold had been the car salesman and not me. All right, listen, it's going to take about $5,000 down. My first impression was Sean Connery. I was walking around elementary school like, you want to see my homework? Yes, I get it. Teacher looks away, then you're going to look at. Teacher looks at, you have to look away. I'll have a milk. Chocolate. Shaken, not stirred. Ooh, I've made poopies. In my pants. I went through a Christopher Walken phase about 10 years ago. Any store that said walk-ins welcome, I walked in, hey, hello. It says I'm welcome here. Where's the fanfare? False advertising. I love when an impression doesn't work, and thank you. Some of you guys are looking at me like the last line of an eye chart. Quite all right, though. Actually, if you can do impressions, they're handy. In fact, I always do Matthew McConaughey when my wife turns me down. It's like, no, I don't feel like doing it tonight. Hey, all right, don't bother me. One time it worked. The problem was she wanted me to keep talking like that. I am not a multitasker. Sounded more like Forrest Gump after about 10 seconds. I love you. I really do love this job. I love to travel, but the one thing I could do without is some of the people at the airport security. I don't know, don't you think those people should look better? You know, when you consider all the health and beauty products they keep taking away from us. Hey, before you throw my aftershave in the garbage, why don't you slap some on yourself, lady? And I don't mind flying coach. That doesn't bother me. I just don't like the way they make it sound like we're all going to get on the plane at the same time. You know, that little announcement, that little pause. Hey, we'd like to begin boarding now with our first class passenger. If they're going to say it like that, I'd rather hear exactly how they feel about us on the back of the plane. Wouldn't it be refreshing? Like, hey, once our first class passengers are nice and comfy, we'll get the rest of you losers on the plane and we'll get the hell out of here. Like, please remember not to make any eye contact with our first class passengers as you drag your sorry butt to the back of the plane. In fact, now that I look at some of you, we're going to have you guys crawl up through the engine. We don't want the people in first class to lose their appetite, do we? You ever see a little kid sitting in first class? That's depressing, isn't it? That'll make you pay the $10 for the Wi-Fi so you can log on and finish your degree. I saw a kid was 4. Must have been 4. He had enough room to make a snow angel. I'm in 34F next to Jared before he went to Subway. You know, it's funny, every time I fly, I'm astonished by the technology involved. You know, you see the planes, you see the tower, and it's between the engineering and the technology, it's fascinating, but even more fascinating to me is the fact that the flight attendants actually believe you when you say you'll help out in the emergency row. If there were lie detectors strapped to those chairs, no one would pass. You know that, right? Are you aware you're in the emergency row? Yeah. Are you willing to help out? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'm your guy, Mr. Team Player, right here. Let me see if I get this right. I'm going to help 200 strangers get off a plane if we crash in exchange for an extra 1.5 inches of legroom. I'll tell you what, I'm going to yell, "Follow me," on the way out.